Hi guys, today we're going to be answering the question of what is global warming. You may have heard the phrase global warming from school, friends, or your parents, as it's become an important topic of conversation for everyone all over the world. But before we can understand global warming, we have to answer the question of what is climate, and to do this, we're going to look at climate versus weather. Weather describes the environmental conditions at a certain place at a certain time. Weather changes from day to day, even from hour to hour. Some days it may be rainy, other days it will be sunny, some days it will be windy, and other days the air will be calm. As you can see, these are all short-term changing conditions. Moving on, the word climate describes the environmental conditions that are common over a long period of time. Climate is a long-term average of the daily weather conditions we see in a region. In desert areas over long periods of time, we see lots of sun and hot, dry weather. A desert is an example of a dry climate. But if we're looking at a hot and humid jungle, this is an example of a tropical climate. Now that we know what climate is, we can dive into global warming. Global warming is the increase in the average temperature of Earth. This rise in temperature leads to changes in the average climate of a region. This can massively impact our environment in many, many ways. Here are a few of the negative environmental effects we're seeing as a result of global warming. Glaciers in very cold places of the world are melting at unexpected rates. Sea levels are rising due to the melting of these glaciers and to the warming of the water. Heat waves are becoming more intense and more frequent. Hurricanes, earthquakes, thunderstorms, and other weather events are happening at a far greater rate than they have in the past. Now that we know what global warming is, let's talk about what causes it. Earth has something called an atmosphere, and it's made up of gases that help to protect us from the sun and to regulate the temperature on Earth. Some of these gases are called greenhouse gases, and they are called greenhouse gases because they trap heat in the atmosphere like a greenhouse traps heat inside of it. The three main greenhouse gases we see in our atmosphere are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Human activities, such as the combustion of fuel from driving and the production of electricity, releases a ton of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. And as we know, too many greenhouse gases trap too much heat, and this can have detrimental effects on our world. I'm sure you're wondering now, how can we slow or stop the effects of global warming on our planet? Well, the answer to this question is that us humans must lower our production of greenhouse gases, and there are a lot of ways to do this. Carpooling, taking your bike, or walking instead of driving when possible will help to lower the emissions of CO2. Taking shorter showers and using less heat will help to lower the emissions that are associated with energy production. Planting a tree can help too, as trees absorb CO2 and release oxygen. But the most effective way to save our planet is by making sustainable habits for ourselves and encouraging others to make habits that best serve our world. I am so glad you were able to join us today. Thank you for watching.